in chronological order, this is what happened because Elon had been calling to kill the big, beautiful bill. So, first thing yesterday, Trump is responding to Elon's criticism. Here it is. Listen.
Thank you, Mr. President. The criticism that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen, regarding Elon Musk and your big, beautiful bill, what's your reaction to that? Do you think it in any way hurts passage in the Senate, which, of course, what is you're seeking?
Well, look, I've always liked Elon, and it's always very surprised. You saw the words he had for me, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because the bill is incredible. It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never cut. It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts. It's the biggest tax cut. You would say, people's taxes will go way down, but it's the biggest tax cut in history. It's we are doing things in that bill that are unbelievable.
So Russ Vought, by the way, is going to be on with us here in about 30 minutes. So that was the first thing, and I think that's really mild. I mean, he's just responding to Elon's criticisms. Look, I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill because we disagree on it, blah, blah, blah. And then Elon responds, whatever. Keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair. But ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. In the entire history of civilization, there has never been legislation that was both big and beautiful, and everyone knows this. Either you get a big and ugly bill or a slim and beautiful bill. Slim and beautiful is the way. Then Elon re-upped a bunch of old Trump tweets where he denounced raising the debt limit, and then he made a poll. Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents 80% in the middle? Yes or no? By this point, now Trump, who is showing tremendous restraint, has to respond. He writes, Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everybody to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted. He knew that for months that I was going to do this, and he just went crazy. Then he writes, the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Me too. Well, Elon responded by threatening to decommission his SpaceX Dragon spacecraft. He says, in light of President's statement about cancellation of my government contract, SpaceX will be decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. Now, this is crazy. This is crazy. Then Elon, after he lost a lot of people on this, he writes, time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein Files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Why would he do this? Why would he do this? We need to rebuild our manufacturing base. And American Giant started doing that 14 years ago. They make clothing here at home with American cotton, American hands, and American heart. It's quality you can feel. Go to American-Giant.com/Glenn. Get 20% off your first purchase. That's American-Giant.com/Glenn. Elon says, mark this post for the future because the truth will come out. Now, Trump, again, who I think was pretty restrained all day compared to Elon Musk. I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut in expenses, $1.6 trillion, and the biggest tax cut ever given. If this bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax increase. Things get far worse than that. I didn't create this mess. I am just trying to fix it. This puts our country on a path of greatness, make America great again. After that, everybody starts to calm down a little bit. Do you happen to have the Linda Yaccarino and David Sachs tweet? Because they both kind of stand up for the big, beautiful bill and saying it needs to pass. Now, Yaccarino is what? She's a CEO, isn't she? Or is she the president of
I think CEO.
Of X.
Mm-hmm.
CEO of X. And David Sachs is a good friend of Elon Musk. And they're both saying, no, we've got to pass the big, beautiful bill. So then you have Bill Ackman stepping up. Now, the White House said that they were trying to schedule a call with Elon sometime today to work this out, which, if you look at the actual facts, Donald Trump was more restrained than I think I've ever seen him. Would you agree with that, Stu?
Yeah, he did not. I certainly didn't go nuclear like Elon Musk did.
No.
No. I mean, he did address it. He did, he started getting a little more critical about Elon, but it was, it seemed to be ramping up slowly. And all of a sudden, someone dropped 9 nuclear bombs onto the battlefield.
Right. Bill Ackman writes, I support real Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and they should make peace for the benefit of our great country. We are much stronger together than apart. Elon writes, last night at 9:27, you're not wrong. So hopefully this is over, but look at the damage that this has done. This has given the left all kinds of ammunition, nothing but talking points. Elon Musk is never going to be re-embraced by the left. I don't think he really cares about that, but he should. Care about, we need the guy to survive. He's one of the greatest minds of our day, of our lifetime. He's probably the greatest scientific mind as far as putting things into practical use since Tesla, the first Tesla, the real Tesla. And we have to have that guy, but we also have to have Donald Trump, and we have to have a country. Now, I want them to cut more out of this budget, but let's not blow this damn thing up. Let's not blow everything up out of the water. This is not good. Who does this chaos serve? Certainly not the country, not the republic, and not anybody who is trying to navigate these crazy waters.
Glenn, can we talk for a second about the specific allegation of him being in the Epstein Files?
Yes,
because
we've already known that, by the way.
Yeah. Number one, it's of course technically accurate that he's in there. They were friends.
Yes, it is.
If you're looking at everything like every flight on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, Donald Trump flew on the plane. Now, I don't think there's any evidence that he went to the island. Certainly no evidence that he did anything illegal with Jeffrey Epstein. They were friends before these accusations came out. So, technically speaking, Elon Musk is saying something that has been well covered in the media already and might protect him from legal consequences because of that tweet. I mean, if they really had a falling out, Trump sued CBS over their editing of the Kamala Harris interview. Being called a pedophile basically on the internet would, I'm sure, merit a lawsuit if they really had a falling out. But technically speaking, Musk probably would survive that, likely because, of course, Trump is in there. It's something we've known about for a long time. There's also, by the way, we should note, probably dozens of other completely innocent people that would be in those files. Doesn't mean that everybody that ever interacted with this guy slept with children.
So Musk was releasing these videos of him, and Epstein, and nobody denies that he was around Epstein. Nobody denies that. But what nobody cares to recognize is that as soon as Donald Trump, had an inkling of who this guy was really, and had one of the women, at his club abused by Epstein, he cut the friendship, kicked him out.
Yeah.
And said, we're done. Get out. I mean, he was the one guy that I know of, the one guy with moral spine around Epstein.
Right.
Let's not forget that there's Elon Musk pictures with Maxwell. So, I mean,
is that even true?
It's a very small circle.
Hard to know how many, what's being photoshopped in the, I don't even know.
Oh gosh, are you kidding me? Is that really?
I don't know. I just don't know. I've seen photos of that, but I honestly don't know.
Gosh,
I always assume they're fake until I know, but who knows?
So bad.
Again, everyone has pictures, especially famous people have pictures. Famous rich people hang out at the same parties, and so who knows? None of that proves anything. And honestly, if there was something here, and you mentioned this earlier, Glenn, quickly, that if there was something that Donald Trump, there's evidence that he did something wrong with Jeffrey Epstein, I can assure you the Biden administration would have found a way to release that. And it even speaks poorly of Musk in a way that if there was terrible evidence here. I mean, was he going to just go along
Just
and
be
not
quiet?
just he'll be quiet about Trump's sexual abuse of children if the cuts
Yep.
came through in the spending bill the way he wanted them? I mean, all of it is absurd. We all know it's not real. It's a couple of guys throwing insults at each other. In this particular case, Trump much more restrained than Elon Musk, I would argue, even though, again, lots of positives of Elon Musk, but he's the one that really went nuclear here. And I do hope that cooler heads can prevail because it's good for the country, Glenn.
Because I know you've really done your homework on Elon Musk, and he has moments where he is not, where he's more manic. Is it possible that this is a manic episode with Elon?
I have no evidence, not
Yeah, I know.
To be clear, I'm not like accusing anybody of anything. But to look at if you read like the biography, the Isaacson biography about him.
Yep.
There are periods through that time. Times where he's sleeping on the floor of the factory. That type of period. If you remember that period, Glenn, where it does appear that he goes into what you might call a manic state and makes a lot of poor decisions that wind up really hurting the stock price, tweeting out things that he winds up getting sued for. There are a lot of periods in Elon's life where that type of stuff seems to happen. Add on to that, the New York Times, and again, take it for what it's worth, Elon Musk has a lot of enemies inside the White House. That's something that you should know. And so we don't know where this came from, but lots of accusations of drug use and things of that nature as well.
And when you say drug use, it's really ketamine, isn't it?
Ketamine was one of the. Although it was more than just that. I can pull the article up. But one of the interesting notes in the article is one of the ways the New York Times claims that they made this available to actually be reported, and it wasn't just a rumor that somebody told them, was they had photographic evidence of these pills. Now, Glenn, how many times has someone that taken pictures of your pill box or your pill bottles?
Oh my gosh, it happens all the time.
This is not something that occurs to normal people that don't have enemies around them, right? Somebody,
Correct.
My speculation is somebody around him saw him taking pills, took pictures of them, and sent them to the New York Times. Supposedly, now the Times is like, oh, his friends are concerned about him. That's their excuse. I don't buy that at all.
I don't either.
But
nobody has friends at that level in Washington, D.C. Nobody.
Yeah, especially that would be like, you know what? I'm concerned about Elon. I'm going to leak these photos of his pill box to the New York Times. Like, there's no friend of his who would do that. It's absurd.
Right. No.
It's somebody who hated his guts or wanted to destroy him and wanted these bad things to come out about him, in my estimation. So, could that be true? There could be some truth to it. I don't know. Could it be that he's in some manic period? Could it just be that he's really frustrated and this is how he operates with everybody else and it's not that big a deal? Yeah. Most people shrug it off because it's just normal internet drama. When you're doing it to the President of the United States, it takes on a totally different shape.
Not good. Yeah. Here's the thing. Just pray for both men and pray for our republic. This is not good for any of us. We need them both to get along.